Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending upon, of course, what time of day it is for you. I say that because my first adventure with the network spotlight, the member spotlight, is with my good friend, Coach Oliver Reid, who is down under in Australia. So we are completely meeting at different times of days. In fact, we are meeting on different days. So as I said to you, Coach, I'm kind of learning as we go along with this process. Let me give you a brief intro. I know that you are at RMIT. I did have the good fortune of interviewing you recently for my show, Run It Back. But, as far as showcasing our members at Rising Coaches, I'm Menelik Fernandes. I'll be hosting the member spotlight moving forward. Take us away. Tell me about you, Coach. Tell me where you're at. And what sort of brought you there? Talk about your journey a little bit.
Yeah, so I am. You're correct. I am down under. I am upside down compared to where you guys are at the moment. Tends to work. I'm just in Melbourne. I'm actually just in the inner north suburbs of Melbourne, sort of just outside of the city. Here, I'm actually I'm one of the lucky ones here. I'm a full-time basketball coach here in the state of Victoria. My full-time role is as development and coaching director for the Ivanhoe Knights Junior Basketball Club. That's my full-time role, and that involves looking after 110 junior basketball teams from under 8s up to under 18s and their child's development, player development programs. And obviously those kids go on to play at various levels from us. It's an all-encompassing role. I live not far from Ivanhoe, so I'm pretty much part of the community. So it's kind of like the equivalent of being a high school basketball coach in the US. You're very connected to the community and the people around you, and know where all the kids are and where they go to school. But that's our club system. And then I guess because I didn't have enough on my plate, I'm also the head coach of RMIT University men here in Victoria. We play in Division 1. In what you would call the Big V League, or for most Americans, the Big V Conference here, and we just finished our season probably about a couple of months ago. A little bit COVID hampered, is the best way to describe it, but we did have a nice finish. We did finish 17-0, so I can't complain too much about my guys. So we're now already preparing for our new season, and same thing with our kids as well. We have a summer for our juniors. We have a summer season and a winter season. And for our university guys, we tend to go from sort of March. So when America's finishing, we're starting. We tend to go from March through till around August is our normal season.
Love it. Thank you for the background. Now, if I'm not mistaken, and I only know this from having interviewed you once previously, basketball has taken you some places in the world.
Yes, I've been very, very lucky. Yes, I've been very, very lucky. Basketball it has been very good to me. I've had the opportunity to coach in England. I've done plenty of tours and traveled to the US as well as a player and also as a coach. So it's certainly pretty exciting stuff. And the game's been really good to me. So I certainly can't complain.
Love it. Are there any places or experiences that really stand out in your mind that you've just been like, I mean, I'm sure you're thankful for all of it, but has there been anything where you're like, man, this is pretty cool. I'm very happy the game took me here.
It's funny. I went to England with the intention to coach, and actually didn't coach there for all that long. I ended up moving away from it and going into some, I guess what you'd call some real jobs. But that sort of journey took me, it took me halfway across the world, and although it probably wasn't at the time, we're talking along probably in the early 2000s now when I was there, but it was a great interesting experience. I'd come from being a development coach for a big association here in Australia, and then traveled to England and adjusting to life where referees count the shot clock in their head, so you get a little bit of home cooking and stadiums with no electric scoreboards because they just had those little flip numbers there on the bench, and just all those little things that I guess you took for granted when you're in your home country, in your home state, and to see those sort of things is pretty cool. And then I guess traveling to the US, taking teams on tour and being involved in teams traveling to the US has always been great. Watching kids move on from being junior basketball players to college athletes is also pretty incredible. It's always the joy to watch.
Love it. Speak a little bit about, say, your educational and or your playing experience, I suppose. What sort of brought you to the path of where you are, and how does that intertwine with your coaching style, if at all?
Yeah, look, I was an accomplished junior basketball player here in Victoria. Played for some pretty strong junior teams here, which ours is a club system here. Had the opportunity to go and play for, I guess, was involved in being selected to play for Box Hill Senior Secondary College, which is quite a well-known basketball school here in Melbourne. Has produced countless of Division 1 players. Probably the most famous one for Box Hill is Ben Simmons. He's obviously from originally played at Box Hill. He's the most famous guy, I guess, but I was one of the original guys to come through many moons ago. Not that I had as strong a career as him, that's for sure. But the school itself has always produced really great basketball players, and off the back of that, actually, has always had fantastic coaches that have coached in the National League, coaches that have coached at a college level. And I think that certainly played a massive influence on my love of the game and just my network. The basketball at Box Hill is definitely a strong alumni, and we always see lots of ex-Box Hill kids are still coaching in the leagues or still involved at a management level and that type of stuff in the sport. So I think that definitely held a massive influence on my basketball.
My experience has been, and it is the same for me, that most people who coach are doing so because somebody in their background was a strong mentor towards them and helped them, and they're sort of paying it forward, as the expression goes. Is there anybody who stands out in your upbringing, and it could be more than one, that it's really like, I owe something to, or I'm really thankful for, that has really helped you develop into the person that you are, the coach that you are, etc.?
Yeah, I think, at one point, probably as a 20-something year old, I'm pretty sure this is all I thought I was good at. And maybe that was a bit of a complex. But no, look, I think basketball is pretty important to me. Just, growing up, at some points, it was a single parent household, with two brothers, that type of stuff. Basketball was really important to me. It was certainly an escape as a player, and it just felt like it was always there for me. It never let me down. And so I think coaching, was a pay it forward, but more of a pay it forward to the kids and to the players, rather than paying it forward because I was sort of, I guess, I've always been inspired by my coaches. But it felt like, well, my coaches did a lot for me, and I should probably do a lot for some other kids too that may be in the same situation as me. So, and then that has grown into, I thought to myself, wow, actually, I could might be able to make $1 out of this and pay my bills, and that would be far better than sitting at a desk somewhere else, just punching in numbers and not enjoying myself. So, I'm pretty lucky.
Love it. And I suppose this would kind of be where I'd round it off, or what I'd bring it back to, I suppose. But what is the ultimate goal? Are you living the dream already? Would you like to see yourself end up at a higher level or a different level, or, just sort of talk about what your original aspirations were with coaching and where you are now, and if you'd be content being where you are now in a bit, or if you wanted to change at some point.
Yeah, I think my original aspiration was always to go to the US. That's the Mecca. It was to look at some college roles and be involved at that level. I think as I've traveled and my horizons have broadened and I've been able to get opportunity too, I think that's always the tough one. It's always about cracking through and getting your opportunity. And, like I said, I'm lucky. I do coach full time. It's not everybody coaches full time here in Australia. It's not a given. So I guess, I go back to, chats I've definitely had with my mentors where it's like, actually, I just want to be great where I am. I want to be great right here at Ivanhoe. I want Ivanhoe to be a really proud program, a really well-known program for what it produces as players and for what it gives back to its community. And I would say right now's the dream job. Yeah, right now is the dream job. And then, And then the next one, that might be the dream job too. But I've got to pretend, or I got to act that this is the dream job, because I'm close to my family. I get to drop my kids off at school. We're in the community. My daughter plays for the club. I certainly know that, when I see the kids in the park, when I'm out with my family and stuff like that, it's a fantastic feeling to feel connected. So I don't think I would get that anywhere else. So I'm pretty lucky.
There's so much joy in my heart hearing you say that, as you've seen, as she jumps in the back all the time, as a single parent who, the work-life balance is fantastic for me. It's not true for every coach. So I'm very happy to hear that for you. So I lied. I do have one more kind of popped up.
Yeah.
I guess it's a bit of a shameless plug, obviously, for the Rising Coaches Network, but maybe talk a little bit about what the experience of Rising Coaches has been for you so far, and if it has helped you broaden your horizons in coaching, something neat that you picked up somewhere in there, and obviously, if you would recommend it to fellow coaches. Just like, I know your season got shut down, and I know that this has helped you stay sane a little bit.
Yeah.
I've been there as well, but connecting with other coaches to me is paramount. What has been of value to you?
Yeah. Oh, look, the connection and the network within Rising Coaches has been fantastic. Yeah. Look, that was the reason I'd taken on this full-time role. I was worried that I was now going to be coaching coaches and lots of players in my position here. And I wanted to make sure that I was getting as much outside help myself. And I think sometimes when you are a coach or a head coach, especially, I think you're the top of the pyramid, and you don't really get a chance to talk to someone peer to peer. You're always talking to someone maybe that's inexperienced, and so they look up to you. So they're always generally going to give you a lot of yeses, a lot of head nods. And so I really wanted to be challenged. I wanted to be challenged as a coach, and I thought that this was a great opportunity to be challenged. I've been involved in the mentoring program, signed up as a member. And even though I'm down under and, the time difference isn't great, for me, it works fine. A lot of the calls are in the morning. Maybe it just means I've got to get up a little early, but, that's, I've got to work a little harder than some, and that's okay too. Like, I don't mind that either. So, I think Rising Coaches, to me, it's been fantastic. I'm hoping we can travel, which we should be very soon here from Australia, and I'll certainly be over stateside and trying to catch up with some people and continue in the network, because I'd encourage any coaches, and I don't think it matters where you are. I think the world that we live in now is so connected. Look at us two, right now. So I think it's being a part of this network doesn't mean I have to be in Atlanta. I can still be here.
Well, when you do get over, Rising Coaches family, look out. Coach Reid and myself will definitely lift a beverage together, and I'll buy you a steak dinner or something, and you guys will see the picture for sure. It'll happen. I'm
Definitely
shadowing it from now. So I'm just going to round it off, I guess, there. As I said, I'm a bit inexperienced with the member spotlight, but for all the coaches that are out there, I highly recommend getting in touch with Coach Reid. As I mentioned, I've had the good fortune to be able to interview him a couple times now. Always brings it knowledge-wise, is always prepared, has plenty of great stuff to share. And for those that are in his conference, watch out. They've got a little bit of proving themselves to do this year coming up. So I look forward to seeing how you're doing there. I think I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording, and appreciate you. What a great first member spotlight for myself. It's an absolute pleasure to get to sit down with you again. Rising Coaches Network. Look forward to going through everybody else. Appreciate you guys. Thanks.
Fantastic. Thanks.